Finally, the Premier League is back this weekend. People are sick and tired of international boring breaks. Be ready because it's going to be very tough. The sprint is going to start, especially with the team that are also in European competitions. So it's going to be very, very tough. If you don't get point, you're going to get left behind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ogs, your own brother, and this is my Premier League Match Day 4 predictions. Stay until the end and you won't be disappointed. If you want to help the channel, very simple, my friend. Click that like button, show some support, and let's go. All right, my people, let me remind you the table after 3 games. Liverpool, top of the table. They are perfect so far. 3 wins. 9 points. Chelsea are second. 2 wins. 1 draw. Arsenal are third. 2 wins. 1 loss. And the rest you can read yourself. Tottenham Hotspurs are 4th on the table. Everton are 5th. Sunderland are 6th. Bournemouth are 7th. Let me scroll a little bit up. Crystal Palace are 8th. Manchester United are 9th. Nottingham Forest are 10th. By the way, Nottingham Forest just sacked Nuno Espirito Santo by the time of recording this video. 11th, we have Brighton, 12th. Leeds United, 13th. Manchester City, 14th. Burnley, 15th. Brentford, 16th. West Ham United, 17th. Newcastle, 18th. Fulham, 19th. Aston Villa, 20th. We have Wolves. But don't worry, it's only 3 games. Nothing is done yet because it's still a lot of games to play. All right, my people, very quickly, as you know, we have so many games to talk about, so we're going to be very fast. So this Saturday, September the 13th, early in the morning, 7:30 Eastern Time, if you are in the US Eastern parts like me, 7:30 in the morning, Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. We don't know who's going to be Forest's new manager. We don't know if it's going to be a manager bounce. Nuno was very organized, especially defensively. Are they going to continue playing defensive football? Because if you open up against Arsenal, you're going to get smashed. I think Arsenal are going to win this game. Look at them. They only lost 1 game against Liverpool. 2 other games were win-win. For Nottingham Forest, they won 1 game, drew 1 game, and lost the last game before the international break. I think this is one of the reasons he's been sacked during the international break. Arsenal are going to win this game. It's going to be 3 for Arsenal, 1 for Nottingham Forest. The second game is going to be between Bournemouth and Brighton. This game is going to be very, very tough. Let me remind you the last games here. For Bournemouth, they actually won 2 games out of 3. They lost 1, but it was a tough game against Liverpool, the champions, right? And for Brighton, remember the last game before the international break, they beat Manchester City. They lost against Everton and they drew against Fulham. Very, very good 2 teams that it's going to be a draw in my humble opinion. 2-2 draw. Moving on. Crystal Palace against Sunderland. Look at Crystal Palace. They drew against Chelsea, drew against Forest, and they beat Aston Villa. So they've been doing pretty good. They lost Eze, of course. Everybody knows that. And for Sunderland, they actually won 2 games. And they lost 1 game. So 2 very, very good teams here. Crystal Palace playing home. I think it's going to be a very narrow win for Crystal Palace. 1-0. Let's move on. Next, Everton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa really needs to start winning games. Look at their form guide here. They drew against Newcastle, lost against Brentford, lost against Crystal Palace. They have to start winning. And for Everton, very, very good form. I think the first game that they lost against Leeds was injustice. That was not a penalty in a million years, but it is what it is. They are in very good form at the moment. They are playing home at their own stadium. I'm afraid Aston Villa are going to lose 1 more game. It's going to be 2 for Everton, Aston Villa 1. Yeah, they're going to continue this period of bad result for a little while, I'm afraid. Fulham against Leeds United. Okay, so Fulham, as you can tell, they drew 2 games. They lost 1 against Chelsea Football Club. For Leeds, they won 1 game. They got smashed by Arsenal 5-0. And then they dropped point against Newcastle United. Fulham are playing home. I think they are in good form. They were unlucky not to get the result against Chelsea. I think Fulham are going to win this game 2-0. Newcastle United against Wolves. Wolves also need to start winning some games. They lost all their 3 games. The first games, all of them, 3 of them. Everton, Bournemouth, Manchester City. They have to start winning games. And for Newcastle United, 2 draws, 1 loss. So they haven't won any game in the Premier League this season. All of them need points. But I tell you what, it's going to be played at St. James Park. I see a big win here. They got a good striker now. The Isak situation is gone. I think everybody is settled now. Nick, the tall guy from Germany is there. They have Wissa. I think they are going to have a very good game. Newcastle United 4, Wolves 1. Yeah. Next, West Ham against Tottenham Hotspurs. Big London derby. And remember, Graham Potter actually got a very good result the last game before the international break. They went away and beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. They lost two other games, of course. And for Tottenham Hotspurs, they lost actually against Bournemouth. And they beat Manchester City, beat Burnley. 2 teams. I think Tottenham Hotspurs are stronger than them, but I think West Ham now start coming back slowly and surely. Okay, so I see this game being a draw. It's a London derby. Form goes out of the window. It's gonna be a tough game. 2-2 draw. And then let's talk about the last game on Saturday, September the 13th. Another London derby, Brentford against Chelsea Football Club. Form guide. Let's check on the form guide here. Brentford actually lost 2 games and won 1 game against Aston Villa. Chelsea drew the first game of the season against Crystal Palace, and they won 2 games, West Ham and Fulham. So Chelsea are only playing in London. Wow. So far, they are just playing in London. This game is going to be the same. London derby in London, of course. I see Chelsea getting a result because Brentford are not the same Brentford they used to be. Under Thomas Frank, they lost Thomas Frank, who is managing Tottenham Hotspurs now. They lost Mboemo. They lost Wissa. They lost Norgard. And remind me in the comment who else they lost. They might also lost some few players here and there. So they are not the same team. I think Chelsea are going to get the job done. 3 for Chelsea, 1 for Brentford. Now, let's move on and talk about the games on Sunday. Okay, on Sunday, September the 14th, we have Burnley against Liverpool. Burnley are not bad. They started clicking a little bit, you know, but Liverpool are Liverpool. Isak is part of the team now. We don't know if he's going to start or not because he's playing now with his national team, so it looks like he's in shape. Liverpool, let's check. They are the only team with perfect results so far. 3 wins. For Burnley, 1 win, 2 defeat. Okay? So, and the game is going to be away, but I'm afraid Liverpool are going to be too strong for Burnley, and they're going to beat them 3-1. And let's now talk about the last game on Sunday, which is going to be a Manchester derby. City against United. Listen, no matter how bad you think Manchester United are, they somehow find a way to beat City. They are noisy neighbors. And Amorim need the result, you know. They have some feel-good factor now that they won the last game before the international break. It was difficult, but a win is a win. They actually lost against Arsenal and dropped point 1-1 against Fulham. And look at Manchester City. They lost 2 games. So you can beat them. And this is a derby. Form goes out of the window when it comes to a derby like this. Wow. This one is very, very difficult to predict. I think it's going to be a draw. 2-2 draw. Yeah,